Hello everyone, fellow petrol heads and fellow motor enthusiasts. Hello, this is Hopper's Motorsport Vlogs. Good morning, good afternoon, or even good evening. Welcome in to a bit of a different vlog today. I've decided to sit down and talk about my F1 arcade simulation experience that I had at the one in Birmingham. There is two, there's one in London and the second one in, of course, Birmingham. But I was the one at Birmingham last week because I was down there for mine and my other half. Most of you guys know Jen, some of you guys may not. Jenny is my other half. We've been together for now 10 years. So I decided on my last full day to have a bit of an afternoon at the F1 arcade. You know, I visited there on the Tuesday to have a look at it. I thought, you know, it's a very good place to be. It's a nice place to have a drink. And it's also a nice place just to chill out, you know, whether you go on the simulators or whether you go and have a drink or some food and catch up with some friends. Highly recommend. So this video is probably going to be slightly different. There will be, at the end of this vlog, there will be a clip where you'll see me potentially racing or potentially laughing at something that had happened while I was on the simulator. So yeah, let's get into the vlog, shall we? And let's see how this goes. So obviously, just a bit of background before you know, if you don't know me, I'm Hoppers, or Andy, as my real name's Andy, but most of my mates call me Hoppers. Hoppers Motorsport Vlog started coming up to 5 years ago, back in 2019. So, you know, a bit of background about me really, before we get into the vlog. So yeah, being a petrol head, motor enthusiast, car fanatic, whatever you want to be known as, from an early age. So yeah, let's get into this vlog then, and let's give you guys a bit of a experience. So last week, as I said, I was in Birmingham for mine and Jen's 10-year anniversary, and I stumbled across. Well, I realised the F1 arcade was there. Because I've been doing research about where to go for a drink, you know, just have a nice drink and stuff like that. And I thought, you know, the F1 arcade is right up my street because I've been a motorsport fan as well as potentially liking Formula One. So I decided at the time on the Tuesday, this was the Tuesday, we're going to have a bit of a visit. That's Jen and I going to have a bit of a visit because we're drinking across the way from the F1 arcade in a German bar, which F1 arcade was opposite. So I decided to go have a look. At first I thought it was going to be cash payment as well, but no, it's card only, which, you know, fair point. It's not really a problem, you know, because obviously with thousands and thousands of pounds of simulator, you know, and they've got loads of simulators there, and, you know, rightly so, to cover their own backs, you know, to make XYZ number of money because of how much simulators, you know, I'm not going to lie, sitting where you've got a steering wheel, you know, a motion seat that moves about, and, you know, steering wheel, pedals, you know, and obviously some curved monitors, you know, and plus another monitor at the top so people that are spectating can watch what you're doing, you know, rightly so. So I then obviously thought about it for a few days. I thought about it till like Thursday. I said to myself, right, last full day of being away, we're going to go and do the F1 simulator. Do the F1 arcade simulator because, you know, I felt like this is, you know, what I really want. You know, I didn't go down to Birmingham purely just to do that, but I just, you know, thought it'd be nice just to have a bit of an afternoon and chill in the F1 arcade for a few hours maybe. And I decided, you know, I thought, right, Thursday I'll do it because, you know, with it being the last full day and everything, why not? So I got there on the Thursday, and at first I was like, am I okay just to walk in and book myself on? They're like, yeah, that's fine. Have you booked online? Normally, if it's a bigger group, they advise you to book online. You can you don't have to be with someone, you can just go yourself. But if you book online, you have to book 2 drivers if you're going to book, because it can get very popular and it can get very busy. And other behold, I sat there at first, I thought, right, we're going to have a drink, you know, and soak the atmosphere in just for a bit. So obviously, you know, just to take it in, because I felt like are not going to be ready as of yet because, you know, I've just finished my dinner. I'd started Nando's and I thought, right, okay. So I sat there, had a drink chat with Jen for a bit. I said to Jen, right, I'm going to go and book myself on. Over behold, I created myself a profile, which you do on the F1 Arcade website, I believe, with the QR code. And they said, right, you can do 3 races or you can do 5 races. So I opted to do 5 races because obviously with me doing it on my own, with Jen just spectating, I thought, well, you know what, I'll go for the 5. And ultimately, you know, 5 races is quite good, you know, for, I think it was about 25 something, which £25 something for 5 races, which personally to me, I think it's good. I don't know how much it would be in your currencies, wherever you guys are from around the world. So if you're not UK based, then, or you're not in England, and it's either euros or dollars or whatever you guys currency, you have to check how much it would be in your currency if you came over here to transfer into pounds. But for £25 something that I got for 5 races, found it very easy. Obviously, you know, setting up my profile and then, you know, waited for a simulator to put me on Simulator 8. And, you know, the staff there are very, very approachable and very helpful as well. And very funny to have a bit of banter with as well. So they put me into, put me on Sim 8, which, you know, fair enough. You know, the cars and tracks are random. So you don't know exactly what track and what car you're going to be in. So you might, say for example, you decide to be, I turned up in the McLaren top, as you can tell. Turned up in the McLaren top, I was thinking, do I get a choice of car where I want to be? You know, can I be Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri? But essentially it was obviously my name, but in the McLaren, but obviously not. It was all done at random, so I ended up being in the Williams, which I didn't really mind, to be fair. And obviously, you know, the tracks I raced at was the likes of Monza, Suzuka, Zandvoort, Bahrain, and Spa-Francorchamps. So yeah, I did 5 races, and you know, at first I recommend, and this is where it gets a bit funny. They recommend you go if you've never done it before, you've never done the simulator before, you know, because it's proper, you know, your seat's moving about with your moves and stuff like that, and you know, and if you go off track and stuff like that, they recommend you go on to beginner or casual. I can't remember exactly what the levels were. I think it was beginner, casual, beginner, semi-pro, pro, and then elite. But it's like I mentioned when I was booking in that I played the games. You know, I played the racing games on the Xbox and PlayStation. So they kind of thought, okay, fair enough, you know. But then they were saying, no, go for beginner, go for casual. I was like, I'm going to go for semi-pro because I'm a bit used to it, you know, being on the racing games. Obviously, the simulator is the arcade simulator is completely different compared to what you race on the console, because you know you've got this, obviously, I think it was like a Fanatec or something like that wheel, which, you know, or something like had a replica Fanatec, and it had, obviously, you know, you had the paddle shift to change gear. Obviously, semi-pro, it changes it changes gear itself, but sometimes when you see the end video, I was probably clicking the buttons just to get used to it. But I stayed on semi-pro throughout my 5 races. I was going to try and up the ante, but I thought if I up the ante, I'm going to just probably lose. You know, I'm probably going to end up hurting myself. So I thought, right, I'll stay semi-pro. Next time I go, I probably will go a bit more advanced because, you know, I'm used to it now. But obviously, you know, sat there at the time, I scanned the QR code, so I registered me in. And then, obviously, whilst waiting for the first race to start I think the first race was at Monza. Obviously, you can order food and drink via the QR code. So while I was waiting, obviously, I ordered a drink. So I had a pint of Asahi. Yes, okay, I'm a legal age to drink. So, other behold, while I was waiting, obviously, you know, when I was racing at Monza, I think what the clip I'm putting in is at Monza or is at Spa. I can't remember which one I'm putting into this vlog at the end. But obviously, while I was racing, you know, drinks had turned up, so obviously I couldn't have a drink while I was racing, because if you let go of the wheel, it probably tells you that you've got to do it. And, you know, I felt first at Monza, yeah, okay, I was getting some of the lines right, but then obviously at first I got a demon start, blew Max Verstappen off. But as time went on, you know, it counts down like, I think it's kind of like 5 minutes in every single race, maybe. You know, you don't get many laps, but if you're very quick and you put your mind to it, then obviously, you know, you can do another lap and stuff like that. But, you know, it's kind of like an arcade timer, so it kind of ticks down. And then obviously, you know, once your race is done, you've got about two minutes, maybe. Yeah, 2 minutes roughly, just to grab a quick drink, or if you got food there as well, you know, get a quick bite to it and quick sip of your drink, because you can't leave the simulator. You know, if you leave the simulator, then, you know, that essentially if that race starts, then you've missed a race. So I advise, if you need to go to the toilet or you need to have a drink, I'd do it before you go on, or if you have a drink with you next to you, you have it during your 2 minute before while they load the next race. Ultimately, the staff will come and check to see how you're getting on, just to see, you know, how you're enjoying it and stuff like that. You know, they don't always come every single race. You know, Jen was next to me every time, taking videos and taking pictures. You know, you are allowed to do that. So ultimately, the next race I did was, I think it was Suzuka or Zandvoort. I can't remember. It was one of the two. Didn't, you know, to me, I'm good at Monza and I'm good at Suzuka on the Xbox and PlayStation, but Zandvoort is a track I really struggle with. So, you know, ultimately, I think I crashed into someone and rolled the car at first corner, you know, and put it upside down. But, you know, it's very enjoyable. And then obviously, you know, carry on the sequence of obviously your 5 races. Obviously, the race at Bahrain, I managed to win that one because, you know, I've done quite well on there previously on the Xbox, on PlayStation, so it didn't really matter. But, you know, overall, you know, I think, you know, when you put your mind to it, I think the more bigger group you have, the more races you get and the more tracks you're involved in. And obviously, you know, you're battling against your mates or your corporate party or your stag do or your hen do, whatever. So yeah, I think overall, when I was obviously waiting for the races, I thought, you know, waiting for my races, it's quite good because it gave me time to flex my fingers, stretch my legs a bit, and also just get ready for, you know, blasting around the track. And I'm not going to lie, you know, it's a very good experience. You know, you can feel the seat moving and, you know, braking and accelerating. And when you're turning as well, you can feel the seat move, and it's like, it's brilliant. So I highly recommend, if you're ever in London or Birmingham, go and check out F1 Arcade, because it is a fabulous thing to do. You know, if you're a petrol head, you don't have to be. I've got told you don't have to be into Formula One. You don't have to be into motorsport just to go there. You know, like I say, you can go there for meet your friends and have a drink there or have some food. You don't even have to be on the simulators. And I rate it really quite well because, you know, it's good value for money for what I did. You know, sometimes I wish I had a bigger party, you know, obviously, you know, Jen wouldn't have done it, but obviously I had more time to do more races. But obviously, like I say, the bigger the group, the better, you know, because you get more races in and you get more chance to race against your mates. I raced against the AI for my 5 races, which I wasn't really bothered about because at the end of the day, it just shows, you know, I'm fine with it. It doesn't really bother me, you know. And hats off to the staff that were there. You know, they were very, very polite and very nice. You know, and you get a feel for obviously being in a, you know, sort of an F1 style pub or bar or whatever you want to call it. And the best thing about it is not only do you get to do the simulation, there's F1 watch parties or watch alongs over an F1 weekend, so you can book to go and watch the F1, which I think is fantastic, personally. And there's obviously some TV monitors where it looks like you can look at like sort of data and stuff like that where the race is going on, and it's quite cool to play certain Grand Prix. I think they play certain Grand Prix on it. The big screen telly that was in front of me, where I was obviously doing my arcade, was showing repeats of the Chinese Grand Prix because that had just recently happened. I think it's fabulous. I think it's a fabulous place to be. I highly recommend. I'd definitely go again because you never know who I might go with next time. I might go with a bunch of my mates. Might even plan my stag do there and have a bit of a laugh. But even if I don't, I'll go on my own. I highly recommend though, before you go, is you set up your own profile before going, because it saves time, and then you can just say yes, you are a member, and hey presto, you log in. They'll have your details. They'll have you known that you previously are a member. So when you go next time, you can say yes, you are officially a member of F1 Arcade. So when it does come to registering you in, you can then, obviously when the sims are free, you can just jump on, scan the QR code and then get racing. So yeah, I highly recommend it. If you did like this video, please do give it a massive thumbs up. If you want to know more, I'll leave the link to F1 Arcade in the description. And yeah, I'll see you on the next vlog. Take it easy. Ta-ra.